But one of the first things I would say is start networking, find some people that can mentor or help you.
If you do not know where you're going, you will arrive at wherever you go.
So true. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Take action.
There you go.
You absolutely have to do something if you want anything else different in your life.
Yeah. All right, welcome back. I'm Jason.
I'm Colter.
And this is the Massive and Passive Income Show.
Yes, it is. And we're going to talk about the 5 things that somebody needs to do and can do to get started in real estate.
I get this question all the time from people. I get question of, how do I get started? Or what did you do when you first got in? What focus did you focus on? What are you doing now? And so I think it's a good thing to talk about. I think it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah, I agree. So why don't we dive in? What is the first thing that you think somebody should do in getting started in real estate?
Find a network. And maybe in the network, maybe even find a somewhat mentor. Mm-hmm. Most people say, hey, you're going to be my mentor. Most people don't want to be a mentor, but they do want to be a mentor. But we have a vision of what mentor is, and that's me jumping in their vehicle and driving around all day with them and eating lunch together and all that. That's not a mentor. Mentor is somebody you can network with, that you can ask questions about, that you can bounce ideas off of. And so I think probably one of the first things, and there's probably no wrong answer, but one of the first things I would say is start networking, find some people that can mentor or help you.
Yeah. No, I really like that, because then you're finding somebody that's like-minded, right? You're looking for people that you can trust, right? So this network of people, this or many mentors in the industry can help get you on a path of, hey, this is what's working in the market. This is what's not working. Here's what to do. Here's what to avoid.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And I think making that stipulation too, people you can network with may be on the same path and also on the same level. Mm-hmm. But a mentor needs to be where you want to be. So you got to make sure who you network with and who's your mentor are different. And it could be the same person, but you need to make sure whoever that mentor is has obtained or is doing something you would like to do or you would like to be or someplace you'd want to be. Networking, though, it's good to network with everybody, but be careful about who you pick for a mentor, because it can't be somebody who's at the same level, because then you'll both do nothing. I mean, you might get excited about each other and help each other out a little bit, but you want somebody out there that's a mentor that can help push you and you can see a vision of where you want to be.
Yeah, no, I really like that. So if somebody sets this vision, I guess, why would you have more than one mentor?
Wow, more than one. I mean, because I think different people bring different things. Somebody may be really good at one type of acquisition in real estate, and somebody may have all figured out on how to start a business, and maybe somebody's got something else. He's got 20 years in the lending industry. So you got 3 different people and all things you need to learn from, but may just not be one person that can tell you everything. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Yeah.
So number 1, find a mentor, find a network. Look for people that are like-minded.
Yes.
But also have the same or have achieved the goals and the vision that you are looking to achieve.
Yeah.
And putting yourself on that path.
Like if your goal of the next 5 years is to have 10 rental properties, find somebody that's got 10 or plus rental properties that you want to mentor with. Yeah. Somebody just got their first one. I mean, they're going to be great for networking, but maybe not be the right one for a mentor. Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I think.
What do you think of? What do you think of? Like number 2 or even maybe another number 1?
I'm going to segue into something very similar, but having found a mentor, a network of people that are like-minded, I would say find, join, or create a mastermind with people that want to achieve the same thing. So it can be people that have already accomplished it, but it may not be that you'll attract that group into your mastermind until you've actually accomplished something.
Yeah.
Right? And so if you have 2 or 3 friends, acquaintances that that they want to do the same thing, that same example of, hey, I want to buy 10 properties in the next 3 to 5 years or in whatever time frame, if you can go and find 1, 2, 3 other people that are wanting that exact same thing, talk to them.
Mastermind with them.
Mastermind
Love that.
with them.
Yeah.
Set goals with them. Establish accountability as to what you're going to do on a weekly or a monthly basis that says, I am making progress towards achieving that goal.
Love that. Love that. And I think that's a great idea, because masterminds, I've been a part of a few masterminds, and sometimes people, hey, we're gonna have a mastermind, and it's really not. It's just kind of networking. But a well thought out and productive mastermind is where people throw out ideas for a common goal. And that goal may change. Like if you're part of a group and you guys are wanting to put on an event, then your mastermind for the next couple of weeks, each week, is going to be mastermind on how to make that event the best event possible. Or we want to buy a commercial building, and the two partners that maybe it's going to help you bring that commercial building down, they're the people you need a mastermind with. And so a mastermind with a bunch of just general people is good, but a mastermind together focused on a goal, man, that's incredible. Because all sorts of ideas come out, because you got a common goal of what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. That's a good one. Mastermind's great. Great.
So I think, again, and on the next one, I would say is now you've established a network and a support system and people that are like-minded. Well, it's going to be really hard for you to find that network or those people that are like-minded and will establish a mastermind that's productive. You have to set some goals.
Love it.
So I would say number 3, and I would even move that one potentially to the top, is that you have to establish some goals. If you do not know where you're going, you will arrive at wherever you go.
So true. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's right.
I firmly believe that 100%. And it's happened to me in my own life. So I'm a firm believer. If you fail to plan, you're gonna fail. Whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, you're gonna fail. Yeah.
Exactly. And one of the ways that I like to establish my goals is I do it on a trifecta of things as health and wealth and relationships. So if I can get these 3 things aligned on what it is I'm trying to accomplish, there are many branches off of each one of those.
Yeah.
But now I've broken it down into 3 parts. I know that I want to focus on my health, I want to focus on my wealth creation, and I want my relationships to be really positive.
I love that.
And so establish those goals, and now you can go and find the people that will help complement those. If it's a health coach, if it's going to a gym, if it's, I'm going to eat better or eat different or eat this certain kind of thing, you can establish those exact goals for that.
Yeah, love that. I think another one that I think would go along with everything, and it kind of mixes all of them together a little bit, but get involved as much as you can in different things have to do with real estate. Go to the real estate open houses that people put on Facebook. Go walk through those properties open houses. Go talk to that realtor. Go talk to people that are, you go by a house and there's a big yellow dumpster out in front. Stop by the house. See what they're doing. Walk around. See who the owner is. See if he's there. Ask him some questions. I tell people all the time, get involved as much as you can with the people that are doing what you want. And that is, go out there and just talk to people. If you've got a couple hours, it kind of goes along with the networking, but I look at it as more of networking, but you're out there for a purpose to get involved in as much real estate as you possibly can. Mm-hmm. And that's going to the RIAs, that's going to any of these group meetings, that's going to open houses, that's walking properties, that's looking at properties, get on Facebook Marketplace, run the numbers, do all that different stuff. Just try to be involved as much as possible in any kind of real estate activity. That'd be another one.
Well, and I think that's actively consuming, like live content. Like you're going to the houses, you're going to the, these property tours or the meetups and, the networking.
Yeah.
Aside from, listening to YouTube videos like this or watching and, consuming all this content, at the end of the day, you've got to go and apply it. You've got to, take on the ideas that other people have. Yeah. So that you can make them your own and they become beliefs, and then you act on those beliefs so that it will actually create something for you.
So along those lines, I think you're going the right way, which I think you're headed the same way I am, is to educate yourself. And education, with all of that all together, it can look in a bunch of different ways. I remember reading books to just change my mindset. That's education. Okay, so I'm not saying go sign up for a degree or whatever, but education is things that you'll learn. And I learned so much from books. I drove truck for years, and I used to check out everything I could at the library. If you've listened to the podcast, you've heard my story before, but I loved trying to change my mindset, because my mindset was my dad was a truck driver, and he had his own business, and you work hard, and it's not so much working smarter, you just work harder. If you need more money, put in more hours. If you need more money, buy another truck and run the crap out of that one. I mean, it was all, which is, it's good, it's okay, but I love the mentality that changed for me when I started listening to books on tape and started changing my mindset. And then I jumped into some real estate books. I jumped into some sales books. Man, that just opened up so much for me. And then I got some education on some strategies, and it just kind of blossomed from there. And I mean, I'm a firm believer. You can get so much information out there. You just gotta go find it and find the right people that are giving it. If you need to pay money for it, pay money for it. It's not so much how much it's going to cost, it's how much it's going to make you. Always think that in your head. This price of sitting in this networking event for 2 hours. Don't think about the time it's going to cost you. Think about what it could help you make. Listen to a podcast. Don't think, oh man, 20 minutes. Can you afford not to have that 20 minutes? What is it you want? And it goes back to your original one. Your goals. What do you want for goals? This is how you're mentoring. Man, all that stuff of education, what you're putting into your head. There's so much to that, and I don't think people realize it when they're younger, that crap going in, crap goes out. In fact, I hope my nephew listens to this. Can I tell a real quick story?
Yeah.
So my nephew, he's a wrestler, and I went to every wrestling match he had. Every one of them that I could go to. My sister and myself and her husband was working in the oil fields, and so he was only home every so often. So her and I would jump in her car, and we drive to Salmon, we drive to Fremont, we drive to Pocatello, all over the place. I was going and to support him in wrestling. Well, he went to state 4 times, and he only won state once, and it was his senior year. One time he missed weight, which is crazy. Missed weight at state. He was ranked top in his weight class. Oh, wow. Another time he just didn't quite make it. He always took second place, third place. Took first in districts almost every year. He was coined up to take first place. Well, his junior year, he always just listened to his headphones, and he'd be over there and he'd listen to his headphones, and he'd walk and he'd pace and he'd pace and he'd pace and he'd pace. And he lost that junior year of his state, and he was devastated because this kid should have taken state 4 years in a row. He was that good. Anyway, so I started talking to him. I'm like, what are you listening to before you go out there and wrestle? So he let me listen, and it was like scream rock, like just. I mean, the music was horrible. I don't even think you could call it music, and it just hit me, and I was like, Justin, I said, crap goes in, crap comes out. I said, try and change what you're putting into your head and see if that makes a difference. And there was a whole bunch more. It wasn't just what I said, but a whole bunch more went into that. And that next year, he almost went completely undefeated and took state. And what he was doing over there before he went out there on the mat each time, he wasn't putting that crazy, stupid, idiotic music into his head. He was listening to different things to help him and positive, and going through his routines and moves and all that type of stuff. And I think that made all the difference in the world. So I'm really, really huge on putting the right stuff into your head. I try to listen to something every day. I try to something positive. I try to read something positive, something, because man, I'll tell you what, you put the wrong stuff in long enough, and wrong stuff's gonna come out. But if you put the good stuff in, you put the right stuff in, man, it can only have good stuff and right stuff coming out.
Yeah. Well, I love that. So what we put in our heads, I mean, let's come full circle.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about mentorship and networking, masterminds, goals, and education. At the end of the day, you have got to do something. So I'm going to give you a little bit of bonus. I think we're on number 5 or 6 or 7.
Let's do it, yeah.
But take action.
There you go.
You absolutely have to do something if you want anything else different in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. We have got to go after those different results.
And I love, I want you to keep going, but I love our first 4 had nothing to do with real estate. Do you realize that? I mean, it did a little bit, but we didn't talk about writing an offer. We didn't talk about any of that type of stuff. Like there's so much to this. You got to get ready to go before you even write the offer. The take action is where everything comes. So keep going with action. I just wanted to highlight that.
Yeah, I mean, the end of the day, we absolutely just have to take action.
Yeah.
We have to take steps forward towards something that we want, right? 10 years from now, it's going to be 10 years from now. Have we designed what it is that we want in the next 10 years, or are we just going to let the 10 years pass?
Yeah. Because what's a hard reality, and as you get older, it becomes more apparent, is the sun comes up in the morning and the sun goes down at night, and there's a whole day there. What you do between suns is can make all the difference in the world. It really can, because it's going to happen. Weeks, I hear tell people, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years. And I know that might sound funny, but I'm telling you, it's already Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Will be the weekend before we know it, and the week's already gone. Mm-hmm. If you didn't start your week out good on Monday with some kind of network, with some kind of a mentor, with some kind of education, putting something good into your head, you're already Tuesday. By Wednesday, your week's gone. Like you've wasted so much time in that first day. You just got to get out there and take action. And action has to do with all the stuff we've already talked about. So find that network, find that mentor, find that education, pull the trigger, do the action part. Yeah, love that.
Yeah. Well, man, this has been a fun episode. So if somebody's looking to get started, they just need to, take these few actions.
Yeah.
And guess what? There are going to be a whole lot of other actions you're going to identify that says, I need to do X and Y and Z, because you're going to learn from your mentors. You're going to learn from a mastermind. You're going to learn from the education. You're going to learn from establishing goals. You're going to learn from failing at reaching those goals. And you're going to learn from actually winning and reaching those goals, because you are moving in a direction that is intentional.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to take any action in any things we talked about. Because if you don't take action, again, sun comes up, sun goes down. And now you got a whole day that just went away. Think about it. If you're like, well, I have no time, start logging what you're doing every single day. Start logging it. How much time you spending on breakfast? How much time you spending looking at your phone? How much time you spending getting ready? How much time you spending talking with friends? Whatever it is, I'm not saying any of it's bad, but log all that in there. And I can almost 100% guarantee you there's some time that's wasted that you could do something else in. Now, if you plan to waste time, that's not time wasted. Because I plan, hey, for the next hour, I'm wasting time. I'm going to do whatever the heck I want. And that's okay. But set the alarm at the end of the hour. You got to get up and be productive. Because otherwise, you're going to get sucked into 4 hours. You've been looking at your phone. You're like, wow, why is it 10 o'clock already? Because I've done it.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does.
It happens.
Yeah, all too quick.
Yeah. So I think the more and more that the networking part and the masterminding part and hanging out with people like-minded, it will help you to stay focused. It'll help you to make sure that you're doing the things every single day and not getting off track. Because you go take advice from somebody that has nothing to do with real estate, never started a business, never wants to do anything else except for just what he's doing, which is okay. If that works for him, that's great. But to hang out with him every single day, it's going to get you off of your goal of what you want to do. So that networking part, taking action, and the action part, which I love what you talked about, is action in all those different steps, which I've already said. I'm talking in circles now, but I just love it. It's a good thing just to get going.
Yeah.
On all the aspects we talked about.
Yeah. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years. I love that phrase. Do not let the days pass, because today is what you have control of.
Yep.
And go and make that day the absolute best that it can be, because you started the morning, or you started at noon, or you started at 6 p.m. and said, I'm going to make this a great day.
Yeah. Sleep is non-negotiable. Now, I try to negotiate with it a lot, but you have to sleep. What's negotiable is in between the sun goes up and the sun goes down. And some of you might say, well, I have a job, I have to do certain things. Okay, maybe that's non-negotiable, but still it's negotiable. You can still ask for a day off. You can still show up late. You can still, your day between sun and sun is negotiable. So what are you going to negotiate? What is it you're going to negotiate? You're going to negotiate something in the positive, or are you going to negotiate something with just sitting and not doing anything? And I think that's where we all got to be in life, in family, in our relationships with our spouses. How much time are we just that we don't have a non-negotiable and spend time with them, or we negotiate or rationalize in our head, well, I don't need to go spend any time with them. Yeah. My little boy, we usually went to Pine Basin, and we're down to just the one kid now at home. And it was funny. I woke up this morning and my first thing was to go see if he's up. He's 11 years old. And I'm like, wow, this is really weird, really odd. For 23 years, we've had kids constant kids. And it's the first time where all of our kids are gone and our youngest one is at Pine Basin for the week. And so Shell's like, I said, we should have planned and do something. She goes, are you kidding me? I'm going to enjoy the week. I'm going to get up when I want. I'm going to go to bed when I want. I'm going to do all these different things that I want, which not that we're trying to be selfish, but it's just, life just happens. Mm-hmm. It happens. And I'm telling you what, we're already getting shorter days. Already. We already had summer solstice. From here on out, days are getting shorter. And that's a horrible, because I feel like we just started.
We just started.
4th of July hasn't even happened yet. So man, you're gonna turn around and it's gonna be Christmas. And we're like, where'd the year go? And then you'll be back in summer again. The best time to start a diet, everyone's like, oh, it's in January, so you'll be ready for summer. Well, do it now, so you're ready for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and you're ready for the next summer. That's the problem. It just, because time keeps on ticking,
Yeah, it does. Well, thanks, Jason.
Yeah, thank you too.
Honestly, we ask these questions, and this is stuff that we get asked all the time.
Yeah.
So how does somebody get started in real estate? Go back and listen to the episode. We're not going to reiterate it again, but get started, be intentional, and go and make every single day intentionally focused on going and reaching those goals, and you'll be there.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for tuning in.